So, yeah, listen, I got a lot of experiences with people, but I just want people to know I'm not bitter at anybody, really. Not at all, actually. I do wish more people had fucked with me. And I think there could be a chance that me being at odds with my brother sabotaged a lot of things with certain people who might have known him before they might have got a chance to know me. Not going to get into it, the depth of it, but I think that me and my brother being so competitive and not getting along so much and being such great at hip hop people that it made certain people choose who to fuck with. And listen, this is why Bill fucked with so many different people I didn't fuck with. But notice I'm the only one that did a full album of Cool G Rap. You know what I'm saying? Because I clicked with G Rap and I made it happen. So, and there was no way that the collabo with G Rap could be sabotaged because G Rap was not connected with anybody from a camp, any relations to my brother. But I fear certain people that might have fucked with my brother might have not messed with me, even though they wanted to. Because remember, certain people spoke to me on the phone and said they would fuck with me. So, yeah, man, the industry is like that. Like, people connections with other people and, so, the fact that you wonder why certain people have not fucked with me, it could be maybe I didn't meet them. I've never had a chance to meet them. Or maybe they're living in a total bubble of their success and they're not aware of mine. Or people chose sides, or I got sabotaged. I don't know. I can't prove it, so I'm not going to push that narrative, and don't label it as that narrative. Don't say Necro sex. I got sabotaged. I don't know, to be honest with you. Listen, let the fans decide. What do you think happened? What? Listen, the haters are going to say, oh, but he's a dick. Do I sound like I'm a dick? I'm telling you how I was cool with these people. I never did anything to make them not fuck with me. So you might say, oh, yeah, but, with your brother, you don't get along with him or whatever. Listen, we think differently. A lot of the people that talk shit, they have siblings they don't get along with. So they should be able to relate and be like, I know what Necro's going through. You know what I mean? I have my sister, we don't talk. Or my brother, we don't talk. So it's like...
that was our most popular clip, right? From the interview?
Okay.
Was the one where you talked about Bill. And people in the comments were all saying like, man, I don't get along with my brother. I haven't spoken to him in how many years and all this stuff like that.
Well, listen.
A lot of people related to that, bro.
Listen, it happens. It's just, it is what it is. I can't explain why. Listen, you can know I tried. I tried to do Blood Brothers. I produced debut.
But I see you get that question all the time, bro. Every single time you put ask me anything, you have to respond to that question. It seems like people always ask you, what happened to Blood Brothers? What's going on with Bill? And stuff like it's like you get like hounded with this question.
Listen, I gave Bill 300 beats to choose from. Okay? Because I know how Bill is as a person, I said, listen, you can Lars Ulrich this project. Do you know what that means? I want to see if you know.
No.
Okay. In Metallica, Lars Ulrich will take James Hetfield's riffs. James will come up with new riffs. So will Kirk Hammett. And Lars Ulrich, who's the drummer, will arrange them. He'll say, I think we should start the song with this. He's known as one of the arrangers who, that's why he's loved. Because people try to diss him for other things, like Napster and drumming, but he gets respect because he's known as the arranger. And since I made all the beats, and Bill was not really trying to produce beats, he didn't tell me he wanted to, I was like, I'm going to present all these beats to you. You choose the beats you want that you think we should have for Blood Brothers, because I'm already cool with the fact that I made every single one. So I want it to be shit that you feel, that you think could work for the project. And you'll Lars Ulrich it. What that means is you'll come up with the concept, You'll drop the first verse. I'll then drop my second verse after I hear your first verse. And then we can both come up with hooks together. Like that. It's not like, so for instance, when we did Outlaw is a track I recorded for Godfathers when I wasn't down with Bill. I made the beat, I dropped the verse, and I wanted G-Rap to get on it, on Outlaw. So now what happened is G-Rap was like, yeah, it's dope, but we got too many songs already, and I don't want to get to a point that we just keep recording forever. I'm not going to argue with the legend, with the GOAT. I was like, I agreed. Okay, fine. So I had this track, Outlaw. So at one point, I sent it to Sean Price. I had never worked with Sean Price. Rest in peace. And he drops a verse on it for free. He just did it for me out of respect. He was like, I know your brother, da-da-da. I fucks with your shit. Yeah, I'll do it. This is around the time that I did Take Hip Hop Back with Vinny Paz, and I was reaching it. Sean Price was another person people were asking me to get with. Now, Sean doesn't drop anything Outlaw related on the track. So I had told him, I was like, yeah, bro, this is dope, and I appreciate it, but there's no Outlaw subject. He's like, yeah, my bad. I didn't even think about it. He told me, my bad. He's like, yeah, I fucked up on that one. I was like, all right, it's all good. I said, I'll figure out another beat that I can take your verse and put it on, and then I'll match your verse. Sadly, I never did it yet. I still have the Sean Price verse, and I haven't released.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I still have the verse. It's never been released. And I came up with an idea for it, and I guess it will get fucked with. Honestly, I'm sometimes slow with collabos and shit, and but anyway, so I still had this Outlaw track. So I was thinking at one point, who do I send it to? So I send it to Ghostface. Like, yeah, Ghostface would be sick to be on Outlaw with me. His manager comes back, $20,000 a verse, 20 G's. Ghostface didn't even respond. It was his manager answering his social media. I'm like, shit. So if he would have said like 5, which is what I charge, I would have did it for the investment. But I don't know if the ROI for me, 20 G's, is worth it, because I don't know if I'll ever make the money back. And I believe Ghostface is worth 20 G's because his numbers were 4 times my numbers on Spotify. So if I charge 5 and his numbers are 4 times mine, 20 makes sense. But I just didn't have the money to give up 20 G's for that. So I couldn't get Ghostface. That's when I was like, yo, let me send this to Bill. And I had me and Bill is perfect. And that's how we did Outlaw. So Outlaw was not a beat that Bill picked. You understand what I'm saying? And it wasn't a track that he Lars Ulrich'd. It was a beat I already did my verse. I thought my verse was pinnacle. So I already was like, yo, this is fire. I just gotta finish this track somehow. I need to get someone on it. So that was Outlaw. Madness, I did the beat and also dropped my verse and had the sample from Iron Maiden. Can I play with madness? So I was just getting Bill to get on it. And the verse that Bill dropped, he had already given that verse to Hyde, but Hyde never used it. So Bill didn't even write a new verse for that song. And he didn't Lars Ulrich that one either. So the only thing out of all the shit that we did that Bill first took reins of was the Blood Brothers track. Dun, 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 dun. Because he had heard me play it in my house when we were with my mom. And I had just randomly played it. It was before I sent him the 300 beats. And he was like, yo, what's up with that? So I had sent it to him, and then he kind of just did his thing and sent it back to me. That was the only fucking song he fucking Lars Ulrich'd out of the 300 I sent him. So I kept bothering him because we would talk. We were actually getting along. So we get on the phone. Like, what's up with the fucking beats I sent you? What's going on? I'm working on it. I kind of messed with something, but I don't know if I like it. And honestly, at some point, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because I'm about my business and getting shit done. And I knew Blood Brothers was a hot thing that fans would want. And I didn't know what was going on. And he ended up telling Hyde that he even told Hyde that he kind of is responsible for dropping the ball on Blood Brothers because he had a lot of shit going on and he couldn't give it his time. Now, keep in mind, this is me. I'm hungry about it. I'm going out of my way to go through all my shit, find out what could work for him so he could pick 20 beats out of 300. I did James Hetfield. I just needed him to Lars Ulrich it. He couldn't do it. I'm not going to be up here saying anything negative about him. I'm just saying, if we're talking about what happened with Blood Brothers, I tried. I put my best foot forward, tried to make it happen. He basically was like, the day that we had the fight that ended it, he was just like, yo, we should just not do it anymore. I'm like, word? It's like, yeah, if it's going to be like this, I'd rather just not do it then. Because everything in my life now is easy and I have no conflict with anything I do. And if doing this project with you is going to be a conflict, then I'd rather not do it. So now, how am I supposed to deal with that energy when this guy's saying that? I'm kind of like, all right, then. You know what I mean? I'm not going to beg him. I'm already for months asking him what's up. So now he's telling me he doesn't even want to do it. That's very bad energy. So, and he unfollowed me the same day on Instagram. Wasn't even about this, like, let's not work together, but we could still be cool as brothers.
Was it a bad fight though? Like it was like a real,
I don't know
like,
if it's a bad fight or whatever. It just was what it was. Call it what you want. It was him telling me after me numerous times saying, what's going on? Hey, maybe we shouldn't do this. I don't want to deal with you on my neck. He called me a musical bully one day because I wanted him to get on something that I'm not going to get into it. But he's seen me as being a bully musically. Called me a musical bully. So listen, it just wasn't meant to be. I'm not saying I would have had beef with him as brothers if we had kind of just agreed not to do Blood Brothers. But it really didn't work out that way. And he unfollowed me on Instagram that day after we hung up. So I saw that and I'm like, why would you unfollow me? Like, so you don't want nothing to fucking do with me? After I put all that energy in to want to do this? So that's what happened. That's the true story. I mean, you could ask him. He told Hyde recently that, yeah, he'll take responsibility because he said that his mind wasn't there at the time. And I was being pushy. So I guess I was being pushy for wanting it to happen. And his mind wasn't there for it to happen. And so he decided to dead it, to tell me, let's dead it. And that's the story. You got any questions? Feel free. Because I'm not dissing. I'm not going to diss the dude.
No.
I'm just only telling you the factuals of what happened now. Because I think now we could tell people. Now it's like, just let you know what happened.
I want to ask you a real question, okay?
Sure.
Because everybody knows that you're not a soft guy.
Is this the first real one?
Well, this is like one of the realest questions that I feel like I could ask you. Okay.
All right.
Everyone knows that you're not a soft dude, that you don't show vulnerability or anything like that, right? But from me, based on like my background in psychology and stuff like that, and watching you, and when you talk about your brother, it seems like one of those things that really hurts you the most from numerous different times throughout your life. He kicked you out of the metal band. You were in nonfiction for one day. You were out. And then the Blood Brothers album is just like almost like very easy to, I'm not doing it anymore. It kind of seems like this is like a very sore topic for you. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of recurring.
Actually, it's not. Yeah, certain things you said did happen. Yeah, I mean, he was a certain way towards me, and it did make me feel a certain way. But right now, as we do this interview right now, I don't give a fuck. I'm literally happy that I'm alive, that I'm here to do an interview with you, that I'm relevant enough to do an interview with you, that my catalog's incredible, that I'm getting in major shape. Uh, I got good friends. I don't have hundreds. I got a solid, small crew. I'm down with a lot of crews of real dudes that respect me. Um, I can't control people that don't want to be down with me. I can't control that. And I'm not going to be bothered by it. You know, I'm actually over it. That's why I'm trying to tell you I'm not, when I mention certain things, it's not bitterness. I don't have bitterness. I'm telling you my story. I really don't give a fuck. You understand? Because if I gave a fuck, how could I work on my new album? How could I handle fasting this whole day? My mind was so, if I was so fucked up mentally, worried about people that don't love me or like me, how could I fast? I would go eat food now. I would need comfort food. Because I'm so good where I'm at. Listen, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but it's other things. Like I worry about my mom. My mother is my best friend. Even though I have best friends that are my homies, like if we're talking about family, that's my mom. That's my heart. I worry about her. She's 76. You know what I mean? I give her a lot of money every month. She's not getting the amount that she should get from other people. So I cover the slack. You understand? And I can't worry about, hold on a second. Everything's good? You see me?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't worry about the shit you just mentioned anymore. Like, you understand? There's bigger fish to fry.
But it really did bother you at one time?
Of course it bothers me. I mean, you think I liked it at the beginning when I got dissed for MC Search back then? You think I didn't want my brother to be all about me and us and that? I mean, of course I wanted that. Who wouldn't? You think I didn't tag along in the projects to my big brother? You think my brother didn't influence me? Have I ever said my brother is not an influence of mine musically? And even thugging it out? I never said that. I never said the dude sucks, that he's not a good rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never said those things. I just tell people about shit that I've dealt with people I've dealt with. And no, it doesn't hurt me anymore. I'm not hurt by that. I get more hurt, if anything, for my mom, for anything mom's got to deal with. That anything that doesn't go right her way, or if she's mistreated, I feel for her. That bothers me. Okay, and she's 76. God bless, and that's my focus to make sure she lives great, and that the richer I get, that she can have parts of it. And I'm worried about my boys, my homies. You know, if anything, it's going to be them. Not going to worry about people that don't click with me or don't value me. I'm going to worry about the dudes that give a shit about me. You know what I'm saying? And if you show love, I'll give you love back. See, here's the thing about me. I love myself. Now, I didn't always love myself. It wasn't like I just came out the womb and, loved myself. You deal with a lot of low self-esteem. And the projects, people beefing with you, racism, family, but that's why you get better. That's why you lose weight. That's why you eat correct. That's why you make beats. That's why you do songs. You do things to build your character and purpose up. You don't stay stuck in a certain way. So of course, certain things bother me or did. But that specifically, what you just said, trying to be a psychologist, I'm going to have to disagree with it, because if I agreed with it, I would tell you right now, yeah. But no, not at the moment right now. At the moment right now, I'm over it. Okay? I'm over it. I'm over it because I tried. If you try your best and it doesn't work, dude, try something else. Keep going. Don't give up. You understand? That's the Necro thing. I might try with this rapper or with that rapper or that guy, and if they don't do something, I'm still working. And the fan base loves me. Look at my numbers. You know, you want to keep bringing up the people say you want to keep bringing that numbers. What the fuck are your numbers, Jay? What have you done? So yeah, numbers mean something. And it shows that people give a fuck. If they didn't give a fuck, I would quit. If I was living like some of you people are living, haters with 7 subscribers in 15 years, trying to be MCs, I would kill myself. I would actually kill myself. And I'm not promoting suicide. I'm just saying I would probably want to end my life. So, but it doesn't mean my life revolves around validation from people. It's that we do certain things and we expect results from it. We want our goals to be considered successful. You know what I mean? And so, listen, everything's nuanced. We could talk about a million different things, psychology, this, that, and the third. I might change my mind next week, depending on what I'm thinking. At the moment now, I'm thinking the way I think. You know what I mean? But yeah, go ahead. That's all I got to say about that.